Hey cellos, this is a rundown of King's Fiddlers by Keith Sharp, and this is the cello bass part. I will make one for the bass as well, but your harmony part is the exact same part as the cello part. So really important. You can watch this one and hopefully get some information out of it that would help you out as well. The most important part of the cello bass part for this piece is your rests. Make sure that you're actually staying true to those rests, whether, for instance, measure one, you have beat one, two rests, and then a quarter note on beat four. So moments where you actually have two quarter rests inside the measure, and other moments where you just have, say, the following measure, beat one and beat three. So one, rest, three, rest. There certainly are a lot of variations based off of that. As you're learning this piece, some things to take note. It says siempre staccato at measure 9, so you're going to actually have like a marcato style bowing throughout the entire piece. It's going to be very detached all the way from the beginning to the end. The second thing is you have a broad range of dynamics, piano all the way to fortissimo. That is huge. So I would recommend using bow speed to really get that difference between those sounds. So when you get to piano, and you're not going to see this in the video so much, I'm going to be using about this much bow. And when I get to mezzo forte and beyond, I'll be using a little more. It's very important, even in a staccato, that you don't really go full on bow for your forte or fortissimos. It's just going to sound really, really raspy. So make sure that it's when you get to something like 45 that you're not overkilling with bow speed. You can add a little bow weight, but that's just something that I would recommend holding off as much as possible, especially in your mezzo forte, mezzo piano, and piano dynamics, which is the majority of the piece. So I have my metronome set to 120 beats per minute. That is performance tempo for this piece. My recommendation is to go ahead and when you're learning this piece, one, listen to the publisher recording with the music in front of you so you can really get how it sounds with everything else around it. And two, when you actually start practicing this one, practice with a metronome and always practice at a tempo that you can play straight through. It's much easier to learn the piece a little under tempo and actually play it rhythmically precise so that you can then build tempo from there. So, have my metronome set. This is 120. Also, oh yeah, as you're learning this piece, the last thing I was going to say is you're going to find a lot of string crossings with this piece, where you're going from the D to the G string. So isolate those measures as well. For instance, measure 1 so that you're ready for it. And then other moments as well where you're crawling down, say measure 6 and a measure 7. Really getting a clean sound on those notes. I would recommend doing that as you go along, and hopefully it'll be something really helpful for you to piece together this music very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and get my metronome set, 120, there it is, beginning, 1, 2, ready, and... is King's Fiddlers in a nutshell. I hope this video is very helpful for you and just sort of getting a head start on it and learning really where to go with it. As you practice it, just as a reminder, always practice the metronome, especially this piece. As it builds, especially 33 to the end, the way the music is written, all parts are very independent of each other, so it's going to be very important that you establish the rhythm and that sort of precision in the beginning of the piece, because that music comes back at 33, but what's happening with first violins, the second violins, and violas is so different from your part that you really, really have got to just be hearing them and playing with them, but ignoring what they're doing so that your rhythm is precise. It's sort of a interesting sort of paradox of they're there, you're listening, but you're not playing. You're playing with them, but you're not playing their part. Anyway, as always, happy practicing and good luck.